We're going to make this little lovely here today. It's super easy and it attaches over a journal page like so. It flips open like this. It's for journaling space or whatever you want to use that for. We have a tag in there. And then once this is glued down, you can glue 3 sides and have a little tuck on the other page. And once this is closed, you can open it again, and here's a pocket here with a journaling card. Okay, so let's make this. It's super easy. I've done a little prep work. We'll just lay this here for reference. So what I used, and you can use whatever size you have. I have this package of craft envelopes that from Hobby Lobby. They measure 4.25 by 6.25 inches. It did not come with any card stock in there for card making, so I had a piece of card 12 by 12 and I cut it to measure 8 inches across and 6 inches tall, and then just simply folded it in half and inked around all of the edges inside and out. This is the envelope, and I did the same thing with inking every edge, every fold, because we don't want anything showing once we get all the paper down, okay? So for the front, you're going to need a piece of decorative paper that measures 3.75 by 5.75 inches. Okay, and I inked around all of this just to save time. You're also going to need 2 inside panels, and I recommend using some sort of neutral paper or coffee dyed paper because this was intended to be writing space. These also are 3.75 by 5.75, and that allows you to have a little border around each. Now for the envelope itself, you don't need to put anything here because it's going to be covered by this right here, and that'll end up being a pocket. But we do want to cover this flap, so you need a piece of scrap paper, and we're just going to glue that down and then cut around it. And then for the back side, this part will not show. You're going to need a little panel to fit right there. Okay, and this, let's see, your envelope may be different. I cut mine to 3 1/3/8 by 6 1/8, and that fit on there and left a little bit of a border all the way around. Now for the inside, you need a journaling card, and that needs to measure 4 by 6 inches. And here's one that I have made. I just glued some lined paper to the back of it, put a little belly band on it. I did not do that with the other one. And then that just slides in here. And again, that's 4 by 6 inches. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to make this. All right, so this is the front of our tag. And by the way, the paper that I'm using came from Michael's. This is the name of it. It was a special edition, so it was not very expensive at all. Right. So for the front of the card, I'm going to use this. And go ahead and get that glued down. And I'm using art glitter glue for this. Okay. And I have a little pocket on the front. You can make that any size that you want to. I cut this one to 2 inches by 3.75. so it does go edge to edge. Just going to glue that down. Okay, now to the inside, I have these 2 pieces of neutral paper, and this is just copy paper. I think it's 32-pound weight copy paper. And we'll get those glued down. And use the store card or whatever you have, just press that glue out to the edges. Now, for this, since this is going to be attached to the front of the envelope, we want to go ahead and make this thumb notch. And to do that, I'm going to push my paper all the way to the top. And I'm going to punch a thumb notch in both papers at the same time so that they'll line up when I glue them down. It looks about midway. Okay, let's re-ink this little notch. Okay, we'll glue that down. Technically, you could just glue down 3 sides of this and have another pocket, but we have to be careful that this doesn't get so heavy that the page that you attach it to can't take the weight. So, but you're welcome to try. And then you'd have an additional pocket inside here. Okay, squish that down. And that's our inside, plenty of writing space. So let's now work on the envelope itself. So this is going to be attached right here. So we don't need to put anything there. I do want to cover this flap up since it will be showing. So I used this piece of scrap and we're going to glue that down. I'm going to use glue stick for this. And I'm going to lay it right next to that fold. And then we'll just trim this out. Got a little bit of white showing, but I think I'll be able to ink that out. Let's see. Yeah. Let's ink the outside. And we don't need to cover that because that's going to be attached to a page. But we do need to cover this part right here. And here's another piece of scrap that I cut to fit. And I'm taking it all the way up to that line right there. Okay. And once that's glued down, then I'll cut the thumb notch. So if you're using the same size envelopes and card that I'm using, you could use your 6x6 paper pads for this. They would be perfect. You could cover in here too if you wanted to, but I'm okay with looking at the craft cardstock. I'm perfectly fine with that. All right. So I made a little mark. I'll erase that out later just for me to aim for the center. And this will slide right in. And there we have our little thumb notch. Sweet. All right, now let's glue this down on 3 sides. And I'm going to use Fabri-Tac for this just so that I know that I'm getting a nice strong hold, because we're dealing with some somewhat thick paper here. Give that a good pressing. Again, you could put more pockets in here too, but you want to be aware of the weight and the thickness. If your paper isn't too heavy, then you might be able to get away with it. All right. So in the front here, I have a few little pockets. I seem to have lost one of them. And I just cut these out using this punch. You can cut widths of 2.5, 2, and 1.5. So this is an example of what the 2.5 top would look like, and what the 2-inch would look like. So in the other one, I have 3 pockets. Just make them whatever size you want. You could put some decorations down here. That would be cute. All right. And then in this part right here, I'm hesitate to put any. Oh, here's my other tag. This glue is still a little wet. Now, I did back this with another piece of lightweight cardstock to give this some thickness, so it would slide in and out of here fairly easily. And that sticks out like that. You can use, I have a tab punch, and then I cut this out of a piece of scrap, but you use whatever tabs you like to use. Okay, and then this would slide onto your page like that. Open it up this way for journaling space. I guess it would help if I was in frame. Open it up this way for some journaling space. This way reveals another pocket for our journal tag that we did not put in. And this could get a little awkward because of you're having to get something in and out of your pocket when it's close to the page, but it does work. I didn't want to waste that pocket, so do it this way, and you turn the page. Once this is glued down, I would glue it here as well, and up the sides, and then you have another little tuck. I think that's adorable. and it gives you something to play with in the journal. So, okay, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed that and that you'll give it a try. If you have any questions, as always, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer them. And if you are just visiting today for the first time, I hope you enjoyed what you saw in the video and that you will consider subscribing to my channel. It will really help me so much. Thank you all for watching and spending your time with me today, and I hope you have a blessed day. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.